Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace, everybody. This your brother, Mr. Holipsism, coming to you on a fine Sunday afternoon. And the topic of discussion is it's called Nationhood, Dummies. And I'll read you the description. What if the path to true liberation for Black America isn't segregation or integration, but something bolder? This video dives into the radical idea of nationhood, the uncompromising demand for land, infrastructure, and political autonomy to build a self-determined future. Why freedom without power is a lie, how sovereignty, not assimilation, could rewrite economic and social justice, the untold history of Black nation building and why it's more urgent than ever. From reparations to resource control, we're breaking down what it means to stop begging for a seat at the table and build your own damn table. Join the debate. Is nationhood the missing blueprint for Black liberation or a pipe dream? Like, comment, and subscribe to explore revolutionary ideas that mainstream narratives ignore. Now, let me give you a little background on why we're even talking about this. If you see the thumbnail, you'll see D.L. Hughley and you'll see Trevor Noah. Two people who I have some respect for the most part. I mean, I don't always agree with DL's takes because I think he's like really pro-Democrat unnecessarily. And I've heard Trevor Noah's and his takes, some I agree with, some I don't. But for the most part, I feel they're honest players. I don't think DL is bullshitting. I think he actually believes what he says. He's not playing. Same thing with Trevor Noah. But what happened was Trevor Noah was a podcast and he was questioning the direction that Black America went in during the civil rights struggle, and he was questioning whether integration was the right way to go. And in my opinion, it wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't, he didn't say anything to me that I thought justified the backlash that he got. And DL in particular was very upset at the issue even being raised, which I thought was kind of crazy to me. But Trevor said, "Oh, we went with integration," and he was questioning whether that was the right way to go. I mean, I'm not going to get into all of it. You can see the podcast if you Google it or just search for it on YouTube. I'm not going through all of that. But DL's response was like, "Oh, it was a stupid thing to even suggest," and he said that we never really had integration anyway because white America never really integrated with us. And I thought that was a strange point to make because neither one of them suggested nationhood as a solution to our collective problems. Everything was either segregation, where we're separate but unequal, or integration, when we try to merge into invisibility with the dominant white culture. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's super frustrating when you see these intelligent people coming up with these, brainy, smart ideas, and none of them are looking at the fucking pink elephant in the room, which is the compromise between segregation and integration is nationhood. Us having our own government, us controlling policy on a piece of land that we control, us taking hold of our own socioeconomic and political destiny. For some reason, nobody thinks about that. Like that's not an option. The only option is tied to the hip of America and white people. It's just super frustrating for me. So that was the reason for the creation of this discussion. Right now I'm here on here by myself. Hopefully I can get some people on here with me, because this is not something, I mean, I've talked about this many times, but I would like to get somebody to call in so we can discuss it. I'm going to put the link in the chat room. That's the link if you want to call in. I want to actually have a discussion about this. I don't know if Carla D heard me, but I put the link in the chat room. Peace, Kwame. And peace to anybody else who's listening to my voice. But I want to have a discussion with somebody. I wanted to, this is not something I want to talk about just by myself.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Splendid.
How are you doing this Sunday?
I didn't think that's why you started a live.
You hear me? Hello?
There's a delay, maybe.
Oh, how are you doing? Wow, that's a hell of a delay. Yo, can you guys in the chat room hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
I don't know if you can hear me or not.
I hear you, but I don't think you hear me.
Yeah, there's a really lengthy delay. Do I like it? Do I go out and come back in, or is
Yeah.
it like that?
Go out and come back in. It sounds like you're on a speakerphone too. That might have something to do with it. Anybody else want to come in? I put the link in the chat room. Peace, Vic. Peace, Underrated. Peace, Marcy. Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard the beginning, but I went through what the inspiration for this live stream is about. So I'm just waiting for somebody to come in with me so I can have a conversation. He wants to come in and talk to me. What the hell is going on? I'll put it in one more time.
I'm here. I don't think my mic has anything to do with the delay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can.
Okay.
How
are you doing on this fine Sunday?
I'm talking through my computer. That's why it sounds like I'm on a speaker, but I'm not.
How are you doing on this fine Sunday? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Why don't you just, I just got here, so I don't know.
I'm trying to see if you can hear me because I'm saying hello, but I'm not getting a response. So can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. What I asked was, how are you doing this Sunday?
You're not hearing the response you want to hear. Isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not hearing. Hold on. Hello, Marcus. Hello. Marcus.
Hello?
Marcus, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
How are you?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm good.
Yeah.
So what is your take on this subject?
Well, I've been watching your show for a long time. And I'm like, I'm pretty hardcore black nationalist, so this is like, preaching to the choir for me as far as, this kind of message. I think that I do think that, it needs to be taken. The question of black nationalism needs to be taken in phases. I feel like, it should be taken as an economic project first, building up an economic basis, building up, pooling our resources, and for example, you see how, the basically the oligarch class, or the rich class, or the class that has resources, has basically co-opted the government, the U.S. government. So if you have enough resources, right, you can basically tell any government almost, but you can tell the U.S. We know now for sure that you can tell the U.S. government what to do if you're able to donate to a certain amount of money to campaigns. So from that understanding, what if we were to do something like that in Africa? What if we were to, if we were to build up our resources? What if we were to influence political the political situation in Africa, so that they could pass in a country in Africa, so they could pass laws that would make it easier for people in the diaspora to immigrate, to buy land, to get citizenship, and so on, and also to influence policy in Africa. I think that the first step or the first phase is is building up resources and pooling those resources so as to create a the economic basis for political influence in Africa, in particular. Let's say Liberia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're I think that Liberia is a great idea. I think it's talked about a lot, but I think that I don't think that there is I don't think that we have necessarily control there, right? So like we don't have any influence, or I've seen people from the BAIO go on TV shows in Liberia, but I think that it needs to extend beyond that. I think it needs to extend politically, so that I don't know if that would require it to be a political party. I don't know if that would mean that that it would mean that we run our own candidates, or but or if we just like basically donate, or just donate to existing candidates and just basically tell them what we want. I don't know. I need to research more how the Liberian political system works. But I do think we need a solid understanding of their political system, how that works, and also, but first and foremost, a solid economic basis. And that's just my 2 cents. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Are you familiar with the Liberia Leadership Academy?
No, I'm not.
Okay, because that is actually does everything that you're talking about. And that's what we're involved in. We've been in communication with people in Liberia for about, I'd say, a year and a half or 2 years. Um, and we've been conducting classes and communicating, and that idea that you were talking about, where you said picking candidate in 2029 is when the next Liberia presidential election occurs.
Okay.
And I don't think this is a spoiler. We haven't really talked about it in public that much, but our intention is to have one of our graduates be president of the country.
Wow. Okay.
What I want to do is, hold on, let's see. Can you send me an email?
Yeah.
Send me an email to holipsism, HOLIP SISM@gmail.com.
Solipsism@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to send you some info so you can get familiar with it. You know, this is the thing. A lot of the things that we can do are already present. It's just that people don't know about it.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Sounds like, yeah.
it's already there. It's just that we just got to plug. The more people that we plug into it, the more successful and the faster things can get done.
Mhm.
You know, so I'm glad you mentioned that because every point that you made, we're actually doing,
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
and we yield way more influence in Liberia than we could ever yield here in America.
Hmm. And let me ask you this, you know, do you feel like it requires significant resources to
Of
wield
course.
influence in Liberia?
Well, significant resources would be nice. I think that things would go along a lot. We could do more and accomplish more, but we've been able to accomplish with not that significant resources. We've made impact without having a lot. So yes, of course, it would. If we had more people involved and more resources available, we can do more and accomplish more.
Okay.
Somebody says this is a dangerous. Wait, what is that? This is a dangerous idea akin to a coup d'etat. Oh no, it's not. Come on, stop it. Nobody's talking about no coup d'etat because first of all, the people who are going to be in power are the people that's there. This is not going to be some hostile takeover of Liberia. We are talking with indigenous people of that region, people who are actually boots on the ground. And if anything, this is a collaboration between the diaspora and the native Liberian.
Yeah.
And nobody is taking the position that African Americans or the diaspora are coming in to take over. First of all, that concept is stupid within itself. Why do you think Liberia was created in the first place? You know, it's like this boogeyman bullshit is really, oh God. It's like we create boogeymen to stop progress. Anytime you come up with a solution, here's a booga.
Well, maybe we could no, maybe because Holla.
Don't go here.
So,
Come on,
Holla, can you
man.
hear me?
Stop it.
Am I coming? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Holla. Can you hear me? That's
Yeah, I
probably
hear you.
you. Okay. I think there's a delay. There's a really long delay that's still here, and I don't know why. But maybe it's not so much as it being a boogeyman. Is this that they've read and they know history, like it's been done before, and
No,
the people
they
and the
don't
people
know
who
history.
created Liberia was not. It was created by everybody except the Liberians themselves, and perhaps that's why they,
See,
the war
that
broke out.
that right there shows that they don't know history.
Okay.
If they knew history, they wouldn't make statements like that.
Well, I thought it was the American Colonization Society that was driving that, really. Like, without them, I don't think Liberia would have happened.
That's not true.
Okay. What was it called before it was Liberia? Was it called another country? Did it have another name?
Well, it wasn't a country or a nation in the way that you see one now.
It wasn't a nation state.
Yeah.
Okay. So they
We can
bought some land.
I can
and-
get into that at another time because I don't
All right.
want to, because that can go we can go all take up the whole
Well, I
show
think
with
it's
that.
relevant. I thought it's relevant because wherever there's land, there's people there. And whatever you're calling it, it's just like, well, it wasn't a nation state when America was a nation state until the Europeans arrived. But shit happened because there were people here already. So, I mean, it's fine if you don't want to talk about it. It's your show. But
No, I'm not saying I don't want to talk about it. I'm saying I don't want to talk about it now because I'm
Okay.
talking about something else. But the point that I'm making is that narrative right there is false.
Well,
It's a
there needed
false
to be
narrative.
slave people, right? Without the American Colonization Society,
No,
there
no,
wouldn't have been any slaves to
no.
go over there without any America in the first place, right? It's
It's
because
a half. You're telling half the story, and it's based on a false narrative.
what I'm saying is people from all over Africa could have made it for everybody all over Africa, right? But they specifically, it was founded for ex-slaves or freedmen from the Americas. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. That's why it's right. So that's to say that the ACS has no bearing. It's kind of critical to why it was established in the first place, because they could have established Liberia long before Columbus even stepped foot in the Americas, right?
ACS,
So what was stopping it?
ACS is a part of the history of it, but the way that the narrative has been painted is wrong. And it's based, and the basic, I'll tell you what the narrative is. The narrative is the slave became the slave master. That's the narrative. And it's a bunch of bullshit. And it could easily be corrected if people would go to the sources, the direct sources of information, instead of buying the Western propaganda. But it gets back to my point of this. Every time we come up with a common denominator, every time we come up with something that we can move forward with as a collective, this boogeyman always shows up as to why we can't do it. And it's just super fucking frustrating for the people who are actually on the ground. Like, we don't even have to talk about African Americans. It's frustrating for the people on the ground in Liberia. Has Liberia benefited from the coup d'etat? How was Liberia before the coup d'etat, and how is Liberia now?
Well, the only question I'm asking is, why isn't Liberia or Israel? Why is it not? And even Israel is going through problems. Whenever you have a foreign population coming into a native population, you have conflict all over the world. That's why they're called Americo-Liberians.
There's no such thing as an Americo-Liberia.
You've never heard of that?
I've heard of it.
It's not in the definition,
but it's a stupid title. There's no such thing. If you've been in America, if you think about this, if you've been in Liberia since the 1800s, what the hell is an Americo-Liberia?
No, I'm saying at the time, the people who came there were called Americo-Liberians. So it was a word. It's in the dictionary. It still exists. You may think it's stupid.
It is stupid. I know that it exists, but my point is, it's a dumb classification, and it's a misrepresentation of what Liberia is supposed to be.
That being set aside, there were people who were not born there who came there, and there were people who were native born there who were already there.
So we're talking about displacement. So are we talking about? So we're treating Liberia like Israel. So we're saying that the Americans came over and displaced native Liberians. Is that the angle?
No. I'm saying I was just talking about whenever you have a new population being introduced into native-born folks who are there. There is, generally some conflict. This is all over the world. This is not something that is unique to Liberia. And so I'm saying, is there nothing to be learned from? Can we learn from what happened before? Pay attention so we don't make some of the same mistakes. Yes. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with being cautious.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Can I say a couple words? Because I'm about to leave somewhere where I'm going to lose service, and I really would like to say a couple words before I do that. And then I just listen where I'm at. Hey, big bro. I'm going to come from like left field kind of. I really appreciate listening to Marcus. I really appreciate the knowledge and wisdom that Sister Carla got. Big bro, I love you. I want to talk about stuff that we could do today that'll lead towards tomorrow that kind of goes with everything that we saying. Me and Big Bro been talking about the banks and how lopsided our banking and finances is and everything goes. And when we was talking one day, I talked about we was getting with a group of men in my city, and I was like, man, we should have left with something. And by the time me and Big Bro had finished the conversation, we had figured that if Black people would just open up a Black bank account, preferably one United Bank, you could do that online. You could even put $5 a month, and you can get into a group in your hometown. You can get into a group of people who's serious about doing something to change our situation and say, you know what, we could just put in $20, $50 a month, and every time we meet, whether it's weekly or monthly, at least monthly, we'll sit and have our financier or our secretary or whatever say, how much money do we have? And mind you, this is in your own personal savings bank account, not no big pot with everybody else. No, you just open your own personal savings account with one United Bank and put whatever you want to every month in there. And when y'all meet, you say, hey, I got $10. I got $15. And then the secretary count it all up and say, we sitting on $1,527 this month. And guess what? Then in the next city over, they got their money and they got their money. But the whole time our bank is actually growing. So something of substance is happening. And you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to tell anybody. I think that is a great idea. And that could be that, economic system that we talking about. That could be that financial edge. And when we want to go get loans and grants and stuff, guess what? We supporting ourselves now. We don't have to worry about DEI and all that. That's the only message I want to send. Please pass that on to your leadership, y'all. Let's not talk about how it can't work. Let's talk about what we can actually do that's different and do it. That's all I want to say. I'll talk to y'all in a minute. Love y'all.
That's my point. It's like every time we get to the solution, there's a problem. It's why the solution won't work. And it's just frustrating because it's a Negro stalling tactic. That's what I call it. It's a Negro stalling tactic. There's no reason why we can. And then the funny thing about it is, I've been getting up about this protest. What is it about? Some blackout day or something? Anybody familiar with that?
No, but I do think that a Negro stalling tactic in the face of this new administration that we have now, it makes no sense. I think as things get worse in the U.S., as far as politically and the extreme far right taking power, as they basically have taken power in the United States. It makes no sense to stall a movement that seeks to basically remove the element of risk, because we are in a very precarious, risky position. Being a group with less power and less resources in a society that prioritizes power and resources, and also in a society that basically hates us. We're surrounded by, on all sides, people that don't like us. And Negro stalling tactics makes absolutely no sense in that, in that situation. Like it's just, I don't even know if I would even call it Negro stalling tactics. I would just call it, plantation stalling tactics. Like,
But you can call it anything you want to. It still equals up to the same thing. It's like every time we move a step forward, somebody presents a boogeyman so we can back off of what we're doing. you can't do this because the white man, da 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 da. You can't do this
Cowardice.
because white
It's
supremacy, da da da
cowardice.
da da.
It's cowardice. It's cowardice. That's
Yeah.
the word. That's the ultimate word. It's just cowardice.
It
Nothing more.
You know what? You know the thing is about this. Hello, everybody. Is our people will be the first ones to say that we're cowards and stuff like that. Oh, we shouldn't leave and all that stuff. But I've been doing a lot of researching on just Americans leaving the states. And in the Max Planck Institute, which I think is a German institute based in Germany, they've seen an uptick in Americans, scientists' application interest in wanting to go to the Max Planck institution. In other European countries, they're seeing an uptick of Americans trying to apply for citizenship through ancestry. And it's like a lot of people understand that, you know what, man, with the way things are going, it's time to pack up and head on out of here, man. I ain't got time to be wasting for this. I ain't got the time, the energy to be fighting for a country that makes it explicitly clear that they do not value or care about me. So for you to keep trying to fight in a country when, again, you have not made any substantial gain, is deeply problematic. Furthermore, you're not living in a country that's relatively, in terms of politically, is relatively, in today's sense with all the polarization, stable. You go in 4 years and then it reverses back. You go 4 years again, we got to fight again. And I'm not doing this yo yo tug of war type situation.
Yo, Jabari, can you see the screen? Hello?
My question is, who said it was going to be an American led country?
Thank you. And you know why we get these takes like this? If people would be involved in what we're doing, we wouldn't get these takes, these misrepresentation of what we're trying to do, because everybody wants to be on some Han Solo shit and not be involved with people of like mind actually trying to do something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why you
Mm-hmm.
have these takes. You think you saying something when actually these are takes that are total misrepresentations of what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus, can you see those links that I posted in the chat?
Yeah, yeah. I
Just
think
click on those links that I posted in the chat. Or that's what I was going to send you if you sent me the email, but I didn't see an email from you.
yeah. I'll send it to you after the show.
Yeah, but click on those links. I sent a link to the Liberia Leadership Academy, and I sent a link explaining what the academy is.
Okay.
Oh, whatever. Can I say? There's somebody's got a hot mic. I think. Whatever. Like it sounds like they're showering or frying something. Like.
Oh my, no, that's not me.
Yeah, that's Jabari. I muted it. What was I going to say?
I just wanted to add, that there's, as I was saying, earlier, is just that the I don't think that Black Americans will ever establish any significant amount of control or um, or any significant economic foothold in the United States. Just because, number one, there are systems are entrenched to basically keep people who are not already players and keep in out of the existing economic framework, and also basically there are systems that are designed to keep specifically Black people out of the economic framework. And for example, I was watching this news story of a black family, and this was in California, that tried to sell their home, and they got an appraiser, and the appraiser appraised their home at like $200,000 or $300,000 less than the value of the home. And when they got their white neighbor to reappraise it, it was actually appraised at above the value of the home. So, there are systems designed to basically keep you from getting resources in the United States. Like, it's very well documented. And, it's designed to miseducate your kids. It's designed to keep you from buying in certain neighborhoods, keep you from selling, keep you from, it just
Brother Marcus, I have a question for you. I don't know if you answered it previously, and sorry to cut you off, but I'm listening to you. Do you believe that there is a way to reverse all the things that you're talking about
in the United States?
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah. We don't have power. We don't have numbers. Number one, well, we might be able to do something if we
but
all.
there's population, and I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just trying to get to a point if we can. But there are populations of people that are fewer in numbers than us and have been here for fewer years. And still people don't like them and all that other stuff, and they do great. They seem to be doing well. So,
But see, I don't.
No, because here's the thing.
I don't think that's right to do, because I think when we compare ourselves to immigrant groups, we have to kind of understand where they came from and relative to their own country. Like, it's easy
I
for us to
understand
say,
that. We could put that in there too, Bari. Even still, what's the problem? We could wrap all that in there too. What's the problem though? What's still the problem? Why won't we get our heads out our ass though?
because
That's what I'm saying.
honestly, Umoja, the real reason why is because a lot of Black people in America, especially the Black Americans who want to stay in America, have basically, you can say, a sense of narcissism. They really do. They have this over self-aggrandizement of Black people's actual importance to America. I'm not saying that Black folks do not contribute to America. We don't influence American society, but we don't have the kind of power that we think we do in America and relative to other groups in America. And I think a lot of Black folks overestimate our capability and to make change in America. And I think that's the real issue, is our people have like a really kind of, like I said, a sense of narcissism where they genuinely think they have all this power when we don't.
I think that's a certain level of schizophrenia, because if you think you have that much power, why don't you consolidate your power?
Exactly.
Like, what is it? Is it just some vague? It's some vague, ambiguous
Well,
belief you have power?
I want to be clear. When I'm talking to y'all brothers here, I don't think that y'all don't get it and that y'all slow. I'm legit hoping that people listening here will listen and be like, you know what? It probably is time to get our head out our asses and go open a black bank. Maybe we should look into the Liberia Leadership Academy. Maybe we should look into Liberia and realize the history of it and see that we are supposed to be working with them. That's what the goal is. Is to see that the thing is, what I believe, y'all, is that it is possible to reverse our situation here, but it would take a stronghold. It would take all of us who, like, for instance, I was just talking to a brother who wanted a nation of one of the Moorish Nation brothers who like what they want to focus on is, they still talking about if we claim our nationality, right? And I mentioned to him about the black bank thing, and I know you got money in a white bank thing, and where's the bank thing? And this brother retorted with, well, nationality is and he had a whole couple paragraphs on nationality, and I'm like, why can't we talk about a bank? Why can't we talk about money and doing something together, regardless of your nationality, blackity black man? And this is where we're falling short. We got people in leadership positions leading their people to nothing, and they keep following them. They're not listening to us. That's the problem. They're not listening to people who really trying to lead they people somewhere. They just want to hear people say, all you got to do is claim a nationality and do nothing, and God gonna come soon enough, and we gonna be all right. All you got to do is sit back, and white people gonna ruin America themselves, y'all. We ain't got to do nothing. And then guess what? When America is in ruins, guess who's gonna have it? You damn right, black people gonna have it, and we gonna run it. That's what it appears like, y'all. We seem to be the only people who like, y'all, there are steps that we can take. That's why I don't want to keep on talking about how horrific it is and how we can't do anything. There is. We just can't do it with just 3 of us, man. But people pretend that we can. They on some man, you can just do it. All you got to do is you just get rich. You just have all the ideas. You make all the plans, and then you get the tools and build it too, nigga. This is what the people give us, y'all. We need people. We need people to say these brothers is onto something. We need to follow them, not just listening to people keep on reminding them of how bad our situation is. We love that. We love the people who just talk about how bad our situation is. Sorry, y'all, I'm off my soapbox.
Yeah, we love intellectualizing the problem instead of solving it. People think that because they can break down and decode and tell you what the problem is, that they deserve some fucking pat on the back. No, get your ass involved in the solution. I'm talking for myself, and maybe by me expressing how I feel, other people out there can relate to it. I've been involved in this shit for about 30 years. And all I see from the so-called cultural conscious community is a bunch of people decoding and breaking shit down, which is it's like we've taken our situation and made it into like a cafe house discussion where we're sitting up there drinking latte, crossing our legs, talking about, oh man, this white man, white supremacy. There are actual solutions that we can do that nobody's talking about. The most revolutionary thing you can do as a black person in America is to take your money out of a white bank and put it into a black one. That's something that we can all relate to. That's something that we can all do. But guess what? Somebody's going to pop up a boogeyman. It's the reason why we can't do it. So then what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? There's nothing that we can come to a common denominator on.
We're learning, Holla, like you said. We're learning so we don't make those same mistakes. We're learning.
That's crazy. How long we gonna be learning, sis? We can't retort with learning, man. We've been learning for a long time. What else we need to learn? We watching in real time. We watching in real time.
I think she means us, like not just like necessarily the conscious community, because we got the conscious community, they ain't gonna learn. They ain't gonna learn. Okay.
I don't think we were earlier.
That's even worse. You mean to tell me that us right here can't put our money in a black bank? Then what the fuck are we talking to the average black person for? What do we expect them? What do we expect them to do if we can't even give them a model of what we're talking about? Then why should we expect them to follow us?
Because we need to know that money is going to an end and not just to build another church.
No,
like a lot of those
I disagree with that.
Put their money into, right?
I disagree with that.
Wait a minute, sister. Did you listen to my breakdown? You're putting the money in your own personal savings account. You're putting your money in your own personal savings account. You don't have to do anything but just put it in the bank. You can put it in your own savings account in a black bank, though, sister.
I got that. But
okay, no one's gonna steal it. No one's gonna steal it.
This is my point. This is my point. Your money's going in a white bank now, and all this philosophy advising and figuring shit out is sent.
Yeah,
that money is right there in the white bank. Nobody's having no discussions about why it should be in the white bank. It's just there.
The money in the white bank is funding genocide.
And listen, And listen. I mean, technically, we live in America, so all is going to genocide. But the
Yeah.
thing is that if the thing is, it's just like that is if you are do it right here person. Like if you would do it right here person, that's the least you could do. We're talking about people who are do it right here. If you ain't on the do it right here, we are not the thing. This really doesn't apply to you. But this is for the black folks to say we should do something in America.
Right. The vast majority of black people who think that this is the place we need to be ain't putting their money, ain't consolidating their money and their resources. I'm sorry. We can talk about learning and this and that. The freaking Asians have about $50 billion in total assets in their bank. The Hispanics, the Latinos, whatever you want to call them, have about $50 to $60 billion in total assets in their bank. Tell me a good reason why black people who make up about 15% of the population can't have that amount or even more in their own bank. Please
No, you got to
explain
say
that to
what they
me.
actually
Make
have.
it make
No,
sense to me.
I
you gonna
think
tell the numbers that it actually is? It's 600 and something million, y'all, in assets. It's 600 and something million in assets compared to 50 and 60 billion. That's just shameful. There's no way to talk that down. There's no way to intellectualize that, y'all. That's saying that we don't care about what we talking about. Even the black people who don't be on some black nationalist stuff, they be on some black pride stuff, they be on some Black Lives Matter stuff, they be on some black people, yeah, black excellence stuff. That our us not supporting our own banks is black retardation. Let's be very clear. It makes no sense to not put a dollar. You don't have to put everything, y'all. You could put $20 funky a month in there. Legit. Think about it.
And we're being nice. We're being nice because nobody has a problem with going to Chase and opening up an account and having it direct deposit from your job right into the Chase account. Nobody has a problem doing that. Nobody ever says, well, putting your money in the black, we don't really control the banking system. But yet your money is going to Chase. I've listened.
I'd like
A
to respond
Negro,
if I can, if I won't
a
get cut off.
Negro
All
stalling
right, y'all are
tactic is
hot.
a Negro stalling tactic.
Y'all are hot. Y'all are hot for a Sunday morning. I if I can say without interrupting, because I won't raise my voice because it hurts to do that. When people like me who make the decision to put our money in the bank, first I don't even look at a black or white. I don't know. I would do that. I would make concessions to put my money in a black bank that maybe didn't have all of the bells and whistles and the fintech that is up to date. As let's be honest here, right? Some of the white banks that I choose, I look at the features that are offered, everything, including the financial ones, right? And so if there is no plan, if it's just put your money in this bank, and I don't know there's no plan to like create in Israel to do something like that, just put your money in that bank. Then I'm stuck with basically a shitty customer service profile, in my opinion, because it's not as good as what I want, where I can get someplace else. And for what? For what? Like, if they have it so that it's easier, that I can bank online, or do other things that white-owned banks are far advanced in terms of their fintech, and they're just not offering those things. And this is a reality. I've seen it. I've searched, right? And so it does take away from my satisfaction as a consumer. And make no mistake, at the end of the day, I am a consumer. I have choice. And so they need to give me a reason. And that's why I was talking about learning and planning. And I like these things are important to somebody who just don't want to just be inconvenienced for the sake of it. And I'm one of those people. I'll land.
I gotta. I posted. Yes, bro. It's your thing. Go ahead.
Let me respond to that. Do you know how much Chase total assets are?
No idea. Sure, you're gonna tell me. Well, I mean, I have an idea, but if you got the number, feel free.
$3 trillion.
I'm no longer with
do you
Chase.
think that has anything to do with their level of customer service and the features that they can provide?
Well, customer service can be shitty anywhere in terms of like the people that you're dealing with, but the level of fintech that they can provide, yeah, I'm sure they have more money to spend on it.
Okay, so the bottom line is, if you don't support your banks, how are you ever going to get to that level?
That's what I agree with you, but I need to know that there's a plan to that. Right? Don't
What
just say
plan are you
throw your
referring
money
to?
in the back tank. Well, a plan to get more fintech. We need to raise the X amount of dollars to get more fintech. Like I'm a lot more involved in the Black banking network and than most the average person. And in fact, I know that a lot of them, a lot more of them.
Sister Carla.
Holla, please. I don't want to yell.
Go ahead. I just want to ask the question when you finish, if I can, sis.
Because I'll forget. Like I said, my involvement with them goes to my own work that I did, and I found that a lot of them were in what is the word for that? Somewhere where the government has kind of got them on a. God damn it! I forgot the word. They're like being monitored, kind of like on a probation, just because of the way that they're being operated. Yes, these are small banks, and I recognize that you can have the same kind of issues with any small banks run by anybody. It's not, I'm not going to say it's so much about them being Black, but more so about them being very small, right? And in the larger scheme of banks, right? And so to know for like, again, for somebody to tell me I need to be incentivized to do that. And I'm not saying that they can't, but just getting on the internet and saying, throw your money in a Black bank, any Black bank, and I'm walking away from a bank that offers me things that I feel is worth them holding on to my money, right? Because they're doing things with that money. They're making loans with that money. They're making money with my money. That's what they're supposed to do. Right. So we both are serving each other a purpose. And I feel like I want to get the bang for my buck, just like anything else in retail. Because that is what it is, retail banking. Now, I'll go ahead and answer your question.
Do you think that
I answer something?
You said that you're involved with the question. I just want to ask a question really quick, please. Wouldn't it be beneficial for any bank, but especially the Black bank who's low in assets, if they had more customers, if they had on their books more accounts, no matter who they were, Black, Asian, Latino, if they have more accounts, wouldn't that be good for that bank?
Well, sure. But that's why
And then if we can assume that once they have more customers, then they'll have more assets, then they can have more features, then they can become a better company and better serve the people. But all the while, the first incentive is that it's a Black bank. That if we're talking about if we're coming from a space of nationhood, because that's why we're here. If we're coming from a space of Black nationalism, then the number one incentive is that's a Black bank, and we want it to succeed. So all this other stuff about what assets, what's this, what's that, it's like you, and I am gonna say you because it's you I'm listening to. It's like you are looking to find the negative in it first before you even make a move, and you admittedly will say, "Well, I'm just assuming that the white banks are better." Because you didn't give any back about. I heard what you said, sister, and I heard what you said. It didn't sound like you said nothing about them. It just seemed like you've been real negative towards the Black institution, and it's bothering me, if I'm being honest. You kind of bother me, sis. You bothersome. You don't sound like you believe in what we talking about. And I'm just gonna say it, because that's how it sounds. Sound like you're full of shit.
That's quite. Hello? Oh, okay, we're done. We're done now.
Hello. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, big bro. I just have to say that because I smell bullshit, man. I don't like it. That's not what we here for. Straight up.
I'm just
like
to
holla.
say, I just
I
want to
can't
say
talk to
this.
emotional men. This is why I can't. And I know I've known you for a while.
I'm a
This is
man
why-
and I am emotional. Men have emotions, ladies.
That's disrespectful.
The hell?
That is
I'm
very
a man, so I
disrespectful,
can't
man.
have
You hear what he
emotions.
said
Ain't that
to
You've been
me?
bitch?
talking most of the time during the live stream since
You're
I
right.
came on.
Well, I've been very respectful. I've
You
been very
being
respectful to
emotional.
you, ladies.
You being
Weird ass.
disrespectful.
First, I was full of shit, and now I'm weird ass. I guess you didn't hear that
I
either.
said I feel like you're full of shit, and I'm telling it to your face.
Not
I feel like you're
once.
full of shit, and I'm just
You're
telling it
not
to you
telling it
here.
to my face
That's
because you
all.
can't see my face.
Weird ass.
I'm putting everybody on mute. So the only voice you're going to hear is mine. I just want to say this. Unless this is unless y'all don't want me to identify this as a Negro stalling tactic, this is what my suggestion is. How's this for a compromise? If you have your money in a white bank, keep your money in the white bank, but start up a separate black bank account. You don't have to put all your money in it. You can put $30 a month into that black account. Now, can we do that? Yes or no? I'll take you guys off mute. Tell me, can we do that?
I think
That's a straight up yes or no.
I don't know if there's a delay because like you were still talking and I didn't know if. Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Is it a delay on your end?
Yes, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. I said yes.
Is it a delay on your end, Hollow? Still?
No, I can hear you. I just want to. Did you hear my question?
Yeah. I just didn't want to start talking, and you were still going because that's how it is on my end. Maybe it's my computer. Maybe it's my internet. Yeah, I think that can be something that can be done. And I just want to say, notice how your response was so different, and it was very reasonable, and you didn't fuck you and you full of shit and you don't know like that kind of bitch shit. I don't do very well. But yeah,
I did not say fuck you, but I did say I feel like you're full of shit. Be very clear. I didn't say fuck you, but I did say I feel like you're full of shit, and I mean that.
Your mojo, your connection's bad. Your mojo, your connection's bad. I'll say this. From what I'm seeing, you took up most of the time, miss, and you're the one who came out the pocket and went sideways on your mojo. So the problem is you.
I just felt like you're full of shit, and I just wanted to say it.
Using profanity, by not using profanity ever.
He was very disrespectful. He was very respectful. Listen, miss, he was very respectful until you came out of pocket.
Out of pocket? How? I never once used profanity at this man. He only did that to me.
And then you
were the first one to use it.
Wait.
Stand up.
Hold on. You gonna make yes. I can hear you, bro.
Right.
I can hear you, bro.
Let's move on from this because this is boring me.
Don't do that, Holla. You know he's wrong, and you won't do it. This is what black women are bitching about on the internet. This is why we put y'all all in the same category because you won't call out your brothers.
I'll start calling out the brothers when y'all start calling out the sisters.
So we're leading now. We're the leader.
Can I say something?
Women. Got it.
Every time I try to talk, Carla, you don't want to hear me, Carla. Can I say something? You don't got to listen to it. I could talk to my brothers because my brothers check me all the time. There's been times that I had to come back to the group and humbly apologize for my mouth. I'm not talking to you, Carla. I'm not talking to you, Carla, because I didn't say fuck you in the first place, but I'm close now, right? Because I smell the bullshit on you, and it's not okay. It's not okay. Seriously, I'm very, very respectful. I'm very respectful to my women. I have 4 daughters. Count them. 4 daughters, and I raised them to be strong women. You better leave me alone, woman. You do not know me. You don't know me at all. Let's just keep it that way.
You notice the vibrations whenever Carla comes into the chat. You notice that everything goes left. Now all of a sudden this black men don't do this and that. We check each other all the time. When you checking black women? When you see them doing all this nonsense and talking all this bullshit, do you check them? Don't even start that crap with me. But anyway, getting back to the topic. The compromise for all of these people who's so fearful of they think that the white man's water is wetter or whatever. Keep your money in the white man's bank. Keep the majority of your money in the white man's bank and open up a black bank account and put $30 a month into that black bank account. Is that not a compromise? And if you can't do that, then it's just a Negro stalling tactic. That's it. You just don't want to do it. Mike is disconnected. Let me bring you back. Can you hear me, Mike? What happened? Hello? What the hell happened?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you.
I can hear. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, yeah. I think like Emoja's connection is bad because I think he's traveling, so that's why he couldn't get his words across. But yo, she was like taking up most of the fucking time, man. She was the one who came out of pocket.
Yeah, that's why I said, I don't know if y'all heard me, but I said that that's what always happens when she jumps on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I do think that she had some. I do think that she had.
Yeah, I can hear you. Like
some decent points, though. I mean, as far as she was not wrong when she said that, you know, black banks probably offer less services than, you know, and coming from a consumer perspective, that, I mean, it makes sense that, you know, people want to go where they're going to get more, you know, services, right? So, I mean,
let me counter to that. Can I counter to that? Right. Here's the thing: for you to have those kind of the options and those kind of features within the black bank, you need customers, right? You need people who are like have faith in it and put their all into it, so that way they can get those features eventually. Look at it like in terms of like politics, right?
How many customers do you need?
Let me say this. Let me finish this. I'm not done with my point. When you look at what happened with this whole EV situation, right, with the electric vehicles, right? China has made an electric vehicle that has all the features of like a Mercedes Benz, Range Rover, Aston Martin, or what have you, right? Cars that cost like maybe $50,000 to $100,000, right? They made it to the point where it has all these fucking features where it can do a 360, go underwater. It's basically a James Bond car that costs somewhere between $30,000 to $20,000. If they allowed that car to get into like the U.S. market or the European market, it would make the American or European car companies go out of business, right? What does the U.S. do? What did most of these quote unquote patriotic white people do? They say, you know what, fuck that shit. Let's ban these cars from coming in here and let's invest our money into our own thing. No matter, I don't care how much it costs. I don't care if it costs us a nickel or dime. We're going to tariff them. We're going to pay out of pocket. We're going to cause inflation within our own countries, so that way we can make our own thing happen. So that way we don't have to buy from them, right? So they did it at a loss, despite the fact that their technology is 20 years behind. They did that shit, right? How come when white people had that mentality, I see even black people have that same adapt that mentality with white people when it comes to like this EV situation. When it comes to like financial technology, like this black bank thing, listen, I'm not done. I'm not done. Don't interrupt me. I'm not done.
You interrupted me.
When it comes to this, I'm not done. I was talking. I'm not done. When it comes to this financial situation, right? When it comes to financial technology, when it comes to us saying, hey, I see all the features that Chase has. I see all the features that Bank of America has. I see all the features that Wells Fargo has. I want to apply that to a black bank. Let's build that together. Right now, it's in the shit. It's barely holding together. What we just need to do is pull our resources into that one institution to make it better, right? How come we can't adapt that fucking mentality that white people have when it comes to like BYD, all these other Chinese EV companies, right? They apply, not only do they apply it to that, they apply it to like the AI thing that's going on with DeepSeek versus ChatGPT. There's a whole bunch of other shit. So when it comes to black folks adopting that mentality where we want to invest in ourselves, in our own thing, all of a sudden it's all types of excuses. Oh, they don't have the features that I want, and blah blah blah. Why is that a fucking problem when it comes to us saying, hey, we have our own thing right here, right? It's already built up, but we need some more energy put into it. We need more effort put into it. Let's put it into One United or whatever black bank that's regional. Why is that a fucking problem? Why do we have to intellectually masturbate when it comes to that thing?
Okay, let me answer that question.
I'm done now.
Yeah, and let me answer that question. You know why? Is because, I mean, coming from the standpoint of a black consumer, or just really a consumer in general, coming from the standpoint of an individual, not a state. Okay, a state that has resources in the trillions of dollars, like China or the U.S. It's an individual who's making individual decisions for their own benefit. So they're going to optimize their decision-making process, because you have less. It makes sense from the standpoint of China. That makes sense. It makes sense because they're trying to grow their own industry. It doesn't make sense from the standpoint of Susie, who lives in Brenda, who lives in Compton, who's trying to get a better deal, right? It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. And I think that people need to understand context. You need to understand context, and you need to understand how geopolitics works. All right, and that, from the standpoint of China, they're looking at a 50 years, 100 years ahead. They're making plans upon plan. They're making plans way ahead of a typical person's time horizon. So they're cool with taking a loss. They're cool with their industries, not making any profit, or not, so long as they're able to over the long term gain market share. So, I mean, I think that we're expecting these. I think it's unreasonable, that's what I'm saying, to expect the average person to do something that not
respond to that?
Not particularly in their interest. Okay.
Can I respond to that?
I think what we should do, and let me finish though. Let me finish. I think what we should do is localize a little bit more with respect to what black nationalists want. What I mean by that is, we can't expect all black people to want what we want, because
okay. Can I respond to that?
Because we are a more deliberate group of black people. So we are more deliberate in our intentions. So I think we should pull our resources into something that gets what we want done. And that is the level of leadership that we need to be at. But go ahead and
so what you're referring to, so what your solution to that is, with two disparate individuals to come up with like economic policy, right? Is that what you're trying to say? Just yes or no?
I'm saying it's not something.
Just say yes or no. We're just scattered individuals, right? Yes or no?
Yeah, we are scattered individuals. Absolutely.
Okay, let me respond to that. Right.
Go ahead.
So the solution, we're not doing it right here, Negroes. Right. We're BAIO. So our solution is having a country of our own, so we can set economic policy, so that we can be just applied to the whole Black collective within said countries. Right. So that's where our solution is for the people. Right. The people who want to do it right here. The only you're talking about, we're too local. If they want to do it in the U.S., that means they need to like get their act together and find some way to do it collectively. And the one solution that what we have is they're trying to find which is like investing in a Black bank and coming together, like maybe doing some kind of like group thing where like they can like consolidate resources. They don't want to do that. And I think you mentioned something before about how like we're just too scattered. Like I lost my train of thought here. You mentioned something before about like how we. Can you repeat what you said before? The first half of your statement.
With respect to what? What was I talking about? Can you bring context into
what you read before? Because you were kind of long. You were long-winded, but so I couldn't really take notes on it.
Can I say something while you think about that? Because I haven't had a chance to come in, so I want to come in and say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm very practical and pragmatic. I'm not asking people to go out of their way or put themselves at a disadvantage. My main bank is Chase. Chase has, I think their total about anywhere from 3 to 6 trillion, something like that, some crazy amount. Chase protect their, like, take for instance, if I have a dispute with Chase, always get my money. If I put in a dispute and say, yo, this company did this, like immediately. Their customer service is great. But their worth, their total assets is $3 trillion. Don't you think that a company that is bringing in that amount of money can offer more features, have better customer service, all of that? So how am I going to compare that to a bank that makes 600 million? That's ridiculous. Compromise is this. Keep your money in the white bank. Get the features that you love. I have no problem with that. But why can't you open up an account with a Black bank and put $30 in it a month?
I don't have any problem with that.
So then,
I think
there's nothing.
There's a miscommunication. Maybe there was a miscommunication somewhere, but I had the biggest problem I had was
all the other stuff. Deal with what I'm saying right now. Is it that can we put into a Black bank and the all those fees and customer service from? Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Problem solved. If we were to just do that, how much money could we be pumping into our Black bank? Features and get all of the things.
Holland, your mic got cut off.
Yeah, it's cut off for me too.
Did anybody hear anything I just said?
Okay, now you.
Yeah, you keep getting cut off.
All right, let me go out and come back in.
Yeah, I wanted to say this while he comes in, is I have an issue with like Black people seem to have like a thing for what Ms. Wilson calls super niggerism, right? Where before you get into like anything with Black, it has to have all its bases covered and no fault of their own immediately before they do any step and try to invest in it. They'll come up with some white shit and let it breathe, let it make mistakes and let it adjust, right? But when it comes to Black shit, it always has to be like this super duper, like it has to be like Mr. Marvel or the Hulk, Superman. fucking like a Galactus or
Right.
Unicron or something. It's crazy.
Did
You know
anybody
what
hear?
it is.
Can y'all
is
hear me
that-
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did anybody
This-
hear anything that I said? Or do I have to
No.
say it again?
No.
Nobody heard me?
Yeah, is that Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Joe? Joe, did you hear anything I said before I had to go
Nah,
out?
man. Nah, it was out.
All right. Can I just get this out my system first before anybody talks? Let me just say this. And if y'all can't hear me, let me know, because I don't want to just be rambling here.
All right.
I'm talking about Chase. Chase is my main bank. And I've never had a problem with Chase. Chase, if I have a dispute, Chase gives me my money back. It's like they have perfect customer service. But Chase is worth about $3 trillion fucking dollars. That's their total back. That's anywhere between 3 and 6 trillion. That's their total assets. How am I going to compare them to One United Bank that brings in 600 million? How? We want our banks to be on a par or to give us better services. We have to support the banks.
And on the question that she had about, well, she doesn't feel comfortable putting her money in there unless, you know, do we know if there's a plan for them to get those fees? I'm like, okay, are there any banks out there that are on the level of a Chase and so on, who are just like, man, fuck features?
Yeah.
Of course they're gonna get the features. It's like if you're talking about a car and you want to, you know, they need some investment to get their car sales up and it's like what car is selling out there and they're like, you know what, fuck this whole AC thing. People don't need AC. They can just either burn up or freeze to death. It don't matter. Come on.
Yeah. And Carla, by the way, that wasn't Jabari that you had a problem with or you were talking with. That was your Moja. So don't blame Jabari. Jabari is not even like that. Jabari is super respectful.
Black banks gotta come out the womb, gotta come out the boardroom at Super Saiyan 3 just to, you know, get it off the ground. You know, they gotta be a Galactus level threat.
That whole conversation was an example. Like, it was the bank is like the microcosm of just the whole if you want to call it black nationalism thing, period. Like, they don't want to move to another nation unless it's just like the U.S. and it has all the features of the U.S. and whatnot. It's the same thing. Yeah, they just want it ready made like that. Like, nah, you got to work to get to that point.
I look at our nation state as a house that needs to be renovated. Oh wait,
seriously, I really didn't want to be on your thing acting like that, bro. For real, but that shit bothers the fuck out of me, bro. Sorry.
You good, you Moja. You good. You good. Don't worry.
Yeah, your voice is kind of whatever. You're probably in a bad area, but I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
What's going on, people?
Hey, what's up? I'm in Hotep.
All right, I'm in Hotep.
Peace.
Hotep. Uhuru. I've just been sitting back listening to the dialogue back and forth. To be honest with you, it was informative and comical in a sense, but it's not new. The caveat to black equity in finance is very complex. One, because the people are complex. We're not a monolithic people. You know, we haven't been that for such time.
Monolithic about white supremacy, though.
We're not only monolithic about that. We're functionally selective when it comes to the system of racism and white supremacy, as it operates in all major 9 areas: education, entertainment, economics, politics, sex, war, religion, labor, and law.
Monolithic about them white banks.
Yes, but that's a part of it. You know, you make choices that are in the that are diametrically opposed to your interests. And what I hear is trust. I've had some of these roundtable discussions on panels. The core issue is the innate trust that blacks will be fair, be professional. As the sister kept mentioning syntax, I don't know where she was going with that, but it's trust. We don't trust each other. Just the honesty is that we don't have faith in each other. We don't have understanding and assurance that black excellence can be achieved in any area that I mentioned. And that's by design. So we're at the point now to where we've crossed the Rubicon, and those that are not about the business of what we need to be about now, because time now is critical, they need to move out of the way, get out the way, and let those that want to do things that are like-minded as it relates to those major 9 areas that I point out, and let us be about our business.
Amen.
I yield.
So in short, you're saying she don't trust them new niggas over there. All right.
Yo,
well, she probably don't trust no niggas nowhere.
Let me tell you. Let me put it like this: if you need a PowerPoint presentation by us in order for you to be involved in what we're doing, we don't need you.
I agree. And another thing I like to say, what are the like-minded people need to understand how what they classify as money come into existence, how the Treasury works, how the Federal Reserve works, which is not a government entity, it's a private corporation that operates for profit. And then they need to understand that deposits on the account in banks, what do banks do? How do they operate in order to make a profit? Through loans, through financial products, through interest, and the money's on the accounts that they shuffle around to loan out to other borrowers and lenders in order to make a profit. So first of all, we got to understand that money in and of itself does not exist. What people classify as money, you cannot find that on any currency. So what is this cash or this debt or this inflation that they're talking about? Where is it? How does it come into existence? It come into existence by the Federal Reserve borrowing money from the international banks and the World Bank and loaning those monies into circulation. And that's what banks use to operate. But at the same time, Congress has not voted on the value of $1 since 1974, if my memory serves me correct. And ever since we've been moved off the gold and silver standard, there has been nothing but debt as backing for all U.S. currency. That's the reason why they could just print money. But the problem with printing money and loaning it into circulation, you're taking debt to pay off debt. When you take debt to pay off debt, you never can pay the debt down. So what they call the debt ceiling will never, ever, ever be paid. Why? Because they're using unconstitutional money, where it states in the Constitution itself, in Article 10, Section 8 and 9, that only Congress can coin money and regulate the value thereof. So if that's the case, the question is, go ahead.
Hotep. I hate to interrupt you and whatever.
Go ahead, bro.
I want us to move past what the problem is and get to what the solution is.
We'll never be able to get
our people have been talked about the problems into their ears are bleeding. What I don't see is rallying around the solution to the problem.
I don't see that neither. And I'm almost 68 years old.
Yeah, we're not going to see it unless we can come to a common denominator on just one thing. One thing. I'm not even asking across the board. If we can't come to a common denominator on one thing, then we need to bend the knee to white supremacy.
Well, this is what I say. You can't come to one common denominator on a war on anything until the people are trained up and have full
That's
loyalty.
never going to happen.
Okay, so that's why I said the people of like minds need to go do what they need to do, and the people that don't want to do nothing or stay in the static position need to get out of the way.
We're on the same page in that regard. That's what I'm saying. So I don't really care about who or what they're not doing. What I need to do, or what I care about, is the people of like mind having a common denominator and working toward that solution.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
If we can't do that, if we can't come to a common denominator on one thing, then why are we fighting this white man?
I'm not sure if I'm not even sure if people fighting the white man. I don't even think they believe that they're under siege or they've been declared the enemy. I'm not even sure of that.
Well,
based on the way some of us act and operate, I'm not assured of that.
A great compromise was given. Keep your money in the white banks and just give like $30 to the black banks or whatever, some black bank that you put your money in. If that's still a problem for folks, you're probably just anti-black.
I'm doing that right in my collective, meaning my family, my nephews, my nieces, my sisters and brothers. I'm doing the very thing that's being discussed on this panel.
I'm not speaking
now,
to
do that on a macro on a macro level.
I wasn't singling you out. I'm in Hotep. I'm just saying.
No, I don't think you were singling me out. I was just proposing. If we were face to face in a round table or in on a square at a chessboard game or whatever venue it may be, I believe the discussion should be around. And once we adjourn, it'd be based on closing out the business of the day and also taking in the votes and tally, which will be a 2/3 majority vote in which direction the organization or the body is going to move.
Well, I presented a bill, and I think the bill passed. The bill passed. Keep your money in your white bank. Put $30 a month into the black bank. Boom.
And
done.
I think that's the most clearest practical thing to do at this point.
Yeah, done. So there's really no discussion, no arguments, no nothing. What I want is for us to, when we have a common denominator, what do they say? They say, take the win. You ever heard that expression? I've seen it in court where the judge would tell the guy, yo, take the win. Stop talking. You're winning the case.
Are there any veterans on the panel?
Any
military service veterans? Military service veterans?
I'm not. I don't know if anybody else is. Maybe there might be some people in the chat.
Okay, well, I am. You see, you got another thing I like to put on the table, that most quote unquote what they classify as black people or non-white haven't been out of the continental U.S. ever in their life. I've been to 4 different countries. So I've been overseas, over the seas, on the ground, off the ground, back on the seas, back to the Western Hemisphere. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons because I'm an observer of people and how they interact on all levels. And I would say that it has to start somewhere. But if it's going to take place and become a reality based on our conditioning as a people, we're gonna be forced to be made to do it. And that has been the history that I've seen within the last 50 some odd years. That's what type of people we've been conditioned to be. Until it's right at our doorstep, we take no action. You know, we don't even fight. We don't even fight or take flight unless the enemy or the danger is right at our doorstep. We've been conditioned to that.
Well,
and that's the reason why.
And
I wouldn't say all. I'll say some of it.
Let me ask you a question. Besides this live stream, where can the average black person listen to a black representative or a black talking head who's telling them to put their money in a black bank?
Well, I'm not sure if I haven't come across any platform where anyone's talking about that.
Thank you.
This is the first panel that I came across where people are talking about this.
Thank
and this
you.
can
Don't you think that that's a big problem?
Yeah. Oh, it's one of the core problems.
So if the average black person can't even hear this from the people that they're talking to, how can we really blame them for not supporting the black bank?
Yeah, right. It needs to be, this panel here can grow to where it expands exponentially to where there's experts in the field of finance and infrastructure, building infrastructure, maintaining infrastructure, protecting it, and understanding the federal and both the state policies as it relates to tangible wealth, taking money, having your currency or your money or your tangible wealth to make more wealth. This could be done. This could be done from this panel, but there's not a consensus or enough panels on the social media platforms that I've come across where they're even having discussions like this.
Well, who's passing the link? Has everybody in the chat room and who's on this thing, have they passed the link to anybody?
Well, I'll pass it on. And this is my first time on this.
And I want to put people on blast because this is the problem. If we're not passing this thing on and letting people know what's going on, then how are people going to know about it?
Right. This information could be passed on in lightning speed, or in what they call algorithmic AI speed, just by a click, just by a copy and a click and screen.
Damn,
that's
36 minutes.
Everybody can do that today. Everybody can do that just today. I'm going to do that today. I'm going to make it a task to do that personally myself to as many as people within my contacts that are active.
Let me build on what you just said, Hotep. My issue is, and it's always been my issue, is that we overcomplicate shit. The things that we need. Hold on, let me finish. The things that we need to do are so simple, and yet we refuse to do it. You know what you can do as an individual without, giving blood or urine samples? Like a video, share the video, comment on the video, open up a black bank account.
That's real.
That's it. But yet we want to sit back and overcomplicate things and go like we having some fucking physicist or scientific discussion. No, it's simple shit that we are just not doing, and we're not getting it from the people that we're listening to. These black talking heads with all of this black talk, and none of ever say to their people, why don't we consolidate our resources? Why don't we pick a bank, which I think One United Bank is a perfect bank to pick because it's called One United.
Correct. I'm familiar with One United.
Support that bank. How is that bank going to have branches in every state with 600 million in total assets? They're not. I've been saying, why don't you? I spoke to One United Bank, the representative, and I said, why don't you guys come up with a commercial for One United Bank? Why don't you have a commercial during the Super Bowl? Yeah, that sounds good, but we have to support them. 600 million. Do you know that there are black individuals who have more than the One United Bank?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
In total assets, and yet we're expecting them to have give us 80,000 points when we sign up. We expect a branch in every state without supporting the bank.
Who do you think athletes and entertainers think? Who do you think the talented intent or the one the third, the 2-tier and 3-tier wealthiest black people in America, who do they bank? Who do you think they bank with?
White banks.
That's right.
Unicron Bank.
Let me get back to
And
what I
they
was
come
saying.
from, and they went to Ivy League
Hold
colleges
on.
and
Hold
universities.
on. I'm not done with what I'm saying. We need to make this stuff really simple. Keep it simple, stupid, the KISS philosophy. Keep it simple. Not the average black person ain't gonna get into the history of banking. Just open up a fucking bank account.
You know how people are not like that. You
No,
know
they
that.
are like
You know
that.
that.
If you keep it simple, they will respond. The problem is, think about it. If Jay-Z and whoever the Travis Scott, whoever these guys are, who are the top people that everybody's listening to, said, yo, I bank with One United Bank, people will open up their account just because they doing it. That's how
I think
simple
just
our
from this,
people are.
I
They don't
agree
have
with you. I think just from
our
this,
people don't get into no research where they got to Travis Scott says One United Bank. Let me research One United Bank
no.
before I put my money in it. No, all they got to know is that his money is there, and that's where their money's gonna be.
So you saying we don't need to find the Allspark?
No, we don't.
Where,
We overcomplicate because you know what it is. Everybody is wanting to be some fucking intellectual crossing their legs in a cafe, pining and musing about the black struggle. It's just
brother,
ridiculous. We need to
brother,
start
I
doing
totally
simple,
understand.
simplistic. Who's
I
talking while I'm talking?
understand what you said.
Who's talking?
I'm an hotep. I'm talking. Well, go ahead, bro.
But you're talking while I'm talking, though. That's what's messing me up. All right. So what
Okay.
I'm saying is, we make this shit really super fucking complicated when it's really damn simple. We need a common denominator. I think, now keep in mind, this is coming, you're hearing this from nationalists. This is a nationalist platform. We're not even concerned about making America great or doing anything in America. We're concerned about
Oh,
Liberia.
okay.
So this is coming from a nationalist platform, but we live in America. So what we're saying is, if we live here in America, I'm gonna have to mute y'all. I don't understand why everybody's talking while I'm talking. All right, I'm the only voice that I should be hearing. So if we all live here in America, the common denominator to me is to pool our resources. It's a shame where the Latins have $50 to $60 billion in their banks. The Asians have 50 to 60 billion in their banks. And black folks who are here, foundational black Americans, ADOs, whatever you want to call us, got 600 million in our black bank in One United. If we combine all 22 banks, I think we have anywhere from 2 to 6 billion. Like Umoja said, and I know this is, a cancelable word, but that's retarded. That's retarded. So there should be no argument of starting a black bank account. We should be telling every black person we know, hey, start a black bank account with One United Bank. Nobody's telling you. And the crazy part about it, like Umoja said, it's your money. If you open an account with a black bank, you have access to your money. Why are you acting like you giving it away? It's your money. It's the same as if you had your money in a white bank. Why do we make this shit super fucking complicated? That's my point. All this talky, leg cross, sipping latte, breaking shit down, decoding is unnecessary. All we got to do is come to a conclusion that this is what we got to do and then do it. Is there a counter argument to what I just said? I'm going to open it up for everybody.
Yeah, can I go first?
Go right ahead.
I'll go second.
I think it is more complicated than you say it is. First of all, we need to find the energy stone, the mind stone, the space stone, all the stones, and the Stalin gauntlet, so that way we can get things together and then snap our fingers. And that way the bank can start off at, Super Saiyan God, Ultra Instinct immediately. So that way we can trust it.
You're right. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, you're wrong for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
We need the Infinity Stones, and we need the Struggle Stone and the Stalling Stone too. We got to add that.
We can't do it the way Thanos did, where he actually was out there working to get each stone either. You just got to sit down.
It just comes in immediately. They all got
to come to you at one time.
Yeah, with a thought.
So, wait, Mike. So you mean that's the reason why we're behind?
Yes.
Oh, damn. And here I was thinking that we needed to do something.
Nah. It's not. It's
a correction, brother.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's my thing, right? It's not like we have like a real world solution where we can, basically copy off of other people's homework and look at other nations and see how they are countering the US and the West, right? We don't have like set examples like that in real world and real time. We can say, oh, look what the Russians, the Chinese, the Vietnamese. We don't even have to go by like the size of countries. We don't even have to look at the East Asian countries to see how they're doing it and how they're coming together. We don't even have to look at real world politics to see how they're doing it. No, it has to be that you have to mentally masturbate and manifest this this Negro Stalin gauntlet and get all the stones, and you just snap your fingers, and this things just come into reality. That's how it happens.
Yo, let me tell you something. I'll just say
Can
this.
I go next?
Then we got to get.
Okay, go ahead.
But
all right.
I remember when I was in South Carolina, I was in Charleston when I was a little boy, and my father was teaching me how to ride a bank. Hello?
What'd you say, Howard?
I was in South Carolina in Charleston. My father was teaching me how to how to ride a bank. Oh God, I'm losing it. Ride a bike. So when I first got on the bike, my father was he was next to me. He was holding me on the bike, and he was behind me. And so I was on the bike and I was going, but I thought he was with me. And when I turned around, he was like a few yards back. And once I realized he wasn't holding it, I fell down.
Right. Then you got
my mind went, oh shit, I was actually riding. I was riding the bike. So the next time I got on it, I rode the bike, and I've been riding the bike ever since. Never fell down. I think black folks need to, the reason why I'm pushing the black bank is because, let's say, this is just in my hypothetical. Let's say hypothetically, I know, Black History Month is over, but let's say we started in Black History Month, and the goal collectively amongst the talking heads and everybody was to put your money into a black bank account. And at the end of February, we had the equivalent of what the Asians and the Chinese and the Latinos had in their banks. Let's say we were able to amass about 50 to 70 billion. What do you think that would do for us and do for our mentalities? Would it make us go, oh shit, we did it? We were actually able to come together and do something. Do you think that would give us some currency to do other things together?
Yep.
Yeah, but do you think that's what you just? I understand your proposal, brother. I understand what you're saying. I'm not even in disagreement with it. But you say it as if it's just demonstrated. People will. It's like a pipe, like the Pied Piper. If someone's just blowing the pipe, the rat will follow.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's more.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But if you're close to my age, you ought to know better than that, because we're a very multiplicity.
So what's the alternative? See, the reason why I don't accept that is because what's the alternative?
I'm not against. Listen, I push your program. I don't have no problem with that.
So then there is no but.
I think I believe there needs to be a cultural, psychological lobotomy to root out that nigrititis within the
No, no, brother. No,
Listen to me, brother.
no,
Listen to me,
no.
brother.
I
I didn't interrupt you,
disagree
brother. Brother,
strongly.
I okay disagree, but don't. I didn't interrupt you, and I wish you do the courtesy of not interrupting me. But if you
Okay.
think it is that simplistic and that easy, like I said, I'm gonna pass some ink on. And matter of fact, let me share this with you. I went and talked to just did a survey in a clipboard of my own, and talked to only black people about putting their money, putting parts of their money or percentage of their money, whether it be 6% or 8%, into a black-owned bank. Not any, and explained it simple. I was only able to get 45 people. I went and duplicated the same proposal to about 20 of my own family members. These are my blood relatives. 15 out of 20, 15 signed on to it. So it's not as just as simple as it's just if you just do it and they'll follow. That has not been since segregation, since Jim. We were forced to deal with ourselves. We were forced to deal with exchange money with black businesses, black grocery stores, tire shops, banks, grocery stores, clothing stores, shoe repairmen. Segregation forced us to deal with each other and deal with our problems. Integration diminished that. So it's not just as simple as what you said. I don't have no problem with the premise. The premise of your proposal, yes, I agree with. But the work and the task physically is very complicated.
Amenhotep.
Because our people are complicated people.
Amenhotep. You gotta let me know when
Go
you're
ahead, bro.
finished. You gotta wrap it up
I'm
so I
finished.
can respond.
I
So are you
landed.
finished?
I landed. The plane's on the tarmac. Go ahead.
Okay. Where is the but in what I suggested?
Oh,
Because if you agree with me, then what is the conflict or the friction? If you agree that and also I'm gonna say no, you gotta let me talk. I'm gonna say this. You were very successful in what you did. You said you put the idea out and you got X amount of people to sign up. Imagine if every one of us did that. This is not just about you. You were very successful. If you put out 20 invites and 15, that's successful. Just imagine if all of us did that. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's too much intellectualizing. It's too much talking. It's too much going back and forth where there's no need. We've already agreed that, yes, we need to open up an account with a black bank. That should be it. End of discussion.
Can I ask you a question?
Nobody ever said that anything was easy.
What state are you in? If you don't mind me asking. New York. Okay. I thought so. Okay.
But do you agree with me? Like, if we agree that we should open up a black bank account, what is the further discussion? What is the but? Because it seems to me like that's what creates this stalling in our people to do something. Because we're always going over the minutia of something rather than the overall agenda. The overall agenda is to get people to sign up to this black bank and get this bank having the amount of resources that they need so they can make their bank better. Having a discussion about the Illuminati and all of that stuff is irrelevant.
Oh, did I bring up the Illuminati?
No, I'm not saying you did, but I'm saying that a lot of times we get into these.
I don't even know what the hell that is. I don't even know what the hell that is.
That don't have nothing to do with what we're talking about. I'm not attacking you. I don't want you to get it twisted. I'm not attacking you or singling you out. I'm just saying it as a whole because I've been involved in this culture conscious community for a very long time. And I understand that the reason why, like take for instance, people like Carla, who come in and who are not honest players, because we get new people to come into our circle all the time. Us having different points of views and discussing with people, it never turns into a cussing match. The only time it turns into that is when people come in with their own agenda and they're not really concerned about working with other people. What they want is they want their 16 bars. They think that this is a rap cipher, so they want to spit their hot 16. That's all they want. They don't want to work with people. And the great thing that I like about the BAIO is that we filter those people out automatically. We know we're so used to those people that we know, okay, this person, that's why your Mo just said, yo, you full of shit. Because we've been there, done that. People that are honest players come into the cipher and want to build and want to take things forward. And those are the type of people that we want to associate with. If you're coming in because you want a PowerPoint presentation so we can convince you to support your own people, I don't need you. That's what people want people to kiss their ass. And I'm not doing that shit. I'm talking specifically about Carla. I'm not kissing your ass.
Yeah, I heard what she said. Yeah, you know, I could have interjected then, but I just wanted to hold back and see what the rest of the panel because you guys were familiar with that.
Mike says that he disagrees with my bicycle analogy.
The bulk of my pushing solutions is like this. Okay, you in a relationship where you getting your ass kicked every single day, getting black eyes, broken nose, busted lip, day in and day out. There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what to do. And if your question for what to do is, well, you know, do that other place that I should go to, do I have, you know, direct TV, satellite, you know, do I have all the channels? I mean,
well,
you know,
Joe, I know I'm getting my ass kicked, but what can you do for me?
I'm just, you know.
Let me ask you this question. Let me just interject here for a minute. What would you say the purchasing power collectively of 14% of the black people in America, their purchasing power?
It's trillions. It's I've seen that figure.
I think.
Yeah.
2 trillion.
Okay.
Like I said, that's a discussion, but we've already come to the solution. The solution is to put your money in the black bank. That's the solution. The more black people in America that put their money into black bank, then you have some economic power. Because when banks get the money, they invest the money. You know, they put it into different. That's how those banks were able to amass that amount of wealth in total assets. It's not just accounts that make them rich. It's what they do with the money after they get the accounts. It gives them political power to make moves. They can invest in entrepreneurship if you have a solid business plan. They ain't gonna just give you money because you black. Because there's a lot of people that think that. Well, we open up a black bank account, so just give me money because I'm black. No, nigga. Come up with a solid business plan. Do the work.
I agree with that. I agree with that, but also it's one of my tools. My toolkit is also to lobotomize a lot of them Negroes and Negrettes.
I don't care about the Negroes and the Negrettes. I don't care about them. They'll come along. We waste too much time trying to convince people who ain't about nothing.
So I charge everybody in the room.
There's enough of us who are about this, who are like mine, that can do what we have. We don't need the whole black nation in order to get something done.
I charge 50 people to go out and do what I do. The example that I just gave, that I just shared with the panel, and then report back the next time we meet and see how many people they were able to reach in order to invest in a percentage of their earnings, however they get their income, into to black banks and report back.
Look, once they're in the concentration camps, we ain't got to do no convincing.
And then we won't have to, and then we won't report nobody's personal name, their names or anything, but just report back and give an account of how many people they were able to reach and that will commit to doing the very thing.
If every person was as successful as Amenhotep was, we'd be there. Because if he put out 20 invites and got 15, imagine if everybody in this chat room and everybody did that. And the person that signed up did it too. Word of mouth is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in my own family, I'm glad went to fisticuffs with my own cousin.
Your
Just
own
over the
family's
idea.
always the worst.
I started to knock that nigga out, but I had to remember he's my mother's oldest brother. So
Can I get us to all agree on this? And now I can leave because we're headed toward the 2-hour mark. We should have actually been in it after an hour. But
yes,
can I get us to all agree on this, if we can? Less intellectualizing and talking and more action.
Correct. I agree with that.
Can we all agree
I would
on
have
that?
no. No. No.
You know, to be honest with you, you know, brothers from the East Coast, because I'm from the West Coast, I have this process of vetting brothers from the East Coast. I don't know what it's about. I've been to New York a couple of times, and brothers on the East, not all. So don't nobody say I don't like brothers from the East Coast, but it's just I don't know if it's the damn snow or where they drop the ball at or what it is, but they just have a different approach to things. But go ahead though.
My issue, the reason I can't agree is because of the bicycle analogy. If Hollis' father was a real father, right? What he would have done is he would have had the Christian Cage turtleneck, right? Had Holla get on a Hayabusa, no helmet,
Had the
right? And expect no training wheels, no.
What?
Just get on the Hayabusa, no helmet, just butt ass naked, not even leather jacket or anything, and then just full twist on the Hayabusa, and he just goes full into like I-95, right? Just no hesitation through traffic. And once he crashes, right, he gets all the road rash from head to toe. And then only then would he be able to resuscitate himself and know how to ride that bike immediately. That's the only way you can do it. No help.
It's the only
no helmet or nothing.
It's the only way.
That's the only way.
Yeah,
that's what true fathers do. And that's how true Black institutions can be, implemented and get up and running. That's the only way you can do it.
I'll end on this because it's something, like I said, that I've dealt with all my life, and my antennas go up whenever I come across it, and it's with the Carla chick that was on here earlier. I can tell when somebody's not an honest player, when they're being disingenuous, and when they want to just spit their hot 16. I can tell. So if you want to come on because you want mic time, usually that's what you get. But as long as we can come to the conclusion that there's a proposal out there, I put it out. Stay with your white bank, but put some money into the Black bank. What I suggest is $30 a month, $1 a day. $30 a month into the Black bank. Maybe if we can get that Black bank up and have them get more accounts and more revenue, their customer service will get better. They'll be able to put branches in certain states, because right now they only have ATMs in certain states because they're so small. If we support them, they will grow. Macy's didn't become Macy's with a Thanos snap. They got support. All of these social media platforms that we complain and bitch and moan about, calling it FedBook. Well, why do you have an account with FedBook? Why are you supporting something and complaining about it and not supporting the thing that's the alternative to it? See, it's a lot of Black talk, but it's not a lot of Black action. And I'm just tired and weary of the talk. That's all. Anyway, it's been beautiful. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Are you going to be on the lounge later?
Yeah.
Because I'll be there. I'm off tonight, so I will be in the lounge. I'll probably be on there at 7.
Yeah, I expect to be there without even having to open up the app immediately. Like, just a thought comes to my head, and the app will open.
Mike will be there without a helmet.
Yeah.
I
training
appreciate
wheels.
y'all. I want to say before y'all go, I know my connection messed up, but I appreciate y'all for understanding my little crash out. Cause I just couldn't take it. Y'all should have heard me while I was on mute. I was like, what the hell am I listening to? Seriously, it was crazy, y'all. I couldn't take it, man. I couldn't take it. Not today.
One thing
Not
about
today.
the cultural conscious community, Umoja, is they will always have a strong argument against a solution. Always.
Crazy.
Or not have a solution at all.
I meant to tell Umoja when he was apologizing earlier, don't worry, because I don't think we heard the worst of it. Because by the time the camera came on, he was already muted.
Yeah, no, because she had said that I said F her, and I ain't seen me, you ain't seen me, so I said, okay, well here's me, and then yeah, I was acting crazy. I'm glad I was muted because I didn't want to act that dang crazy. But she really triggered me though, man. We talking about solutions, and we all talking about pretending that we understand what situation we're in, and your ass is talking about, well, I need to know what assets. What are you talking about? Like, why are you here? Seriously, it didn't make sense to me. I didn't get it.
Right? You met my cousin, right?
Yeah, man, Larry, of course.
You remember Larry? Larry calls it the yeah but movement.
Man.
I hear what you're saying, but yeah, that's a good solution. But the yeah but movement. And
how many frequent flyer miles am I gonna get for every $1?
The Daniel Bryan questioning everything. yeah, but.
Anyway, let me end this thing, because if I don't, I'll be on here forever. I'll holler at y'all later, man.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Good talking to y'all. All right, peace.